And it's like, okay, well, our big draw is going to have to be our 3D because we made kind of a shitty movie here. And the 3D was horrible, too. Every single review that I read that mentioned something about the 3D, nobody says anything positive about it. Everybody's saying that the 3D in it was horrible. Seems like it was another one of these movies that was made and then they decided to tack 3D onto it.
Yeah.
It did such a huge disservice to the Avatar source material, because and when I say Avatar, I mean the anime, I don't mean James Cameron's movie.
It's a tragedy that they had to just call it The Last Airbender and not Avatar.
Exactly. It was
James Cameron, you should have changed your name.
Exactly. But anyways, this was just a god awful movie. Like, everything it tried to do, it failed. It didn't follow the source material whatsoever, which is not always a bad thing, because it's nice to see artists, true artists, take artistic liberties. That's nice to see, but it wasn't nice to see here. I think everybody was expecting it to follow, to some degree, the source material, and it really, really didn't.
Ended with a yawn. That's his official review. Yawn.
I'm done.
I saw it. I haven't really watched the show so much, or
right.
maybe I haven't even watched it at all. No, I must have seen parts,
mm-hmm.
but I haven't, not enough to know what the hell's going on, so I don't really care about the source material. I hear it's good, and it has a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go on record and say that M. Night is, just a director, he at least used to be really fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He has a great eye for good imagery and stuff, and if you doubt that, watch Unbreakable, which was an amazing movie. And even Signs, even though I wasn't a big fan of it,
mm-hmm.
had some really great scenes, like watching the videotape and seeing the alien.
Yeah.
And then he threw in little things like the alien was actually there the whole time, but you didn't notice. It was camouflaged. And anyway, whatever. He can do some really good stuff. It's just lately he's been doing these bad movies. And I'm not even as harsh on him as people are. I think, even though...
Still talking about this movie. No.
Still yawning.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
He can be good, but he does got to stop writing at this point. Or get somebody to control him. Because he can write. He just...
he just kind of needs that filter.
Yeah. But with that said, I'm pretty sure I ended up giving The Last Airbender maybe a 50 on Criticker, which for anyone who doesn't know isn't a recommendation, but it's just on the line of both. It's not a recommendation, but I don't hate it.
Right.
It's just there. The Informant was the same for me. I couldn't bring myself to not recommend the movie, but I couldn't bring myself to recommend it, so I was just basically a fence sitter.
Right.
So, and I've only really met one or two people that liked the movie. I kind of liked it. It wasn't much of anything, but any critics list you go to, it's The Last Airbender is on there for worst movie. People hate it. It's pretty...
It's been the butt of quite a few jokes. You look at, there was a webpage on Criticker that was the 10, they did their 10 worst movies of the year based on average tier and stuff. And the very last line of it was, bear in mind, because Last Airbender wasn't on their list. And it's bear in mind, these 10 movies have lower average tiers than Last Airbender, and that's saying something. So it seems like it's getting pretty universally panned. It's showing up on a lot of worst of lists.
Yeah, I'm probably losing my critic credibility by saying I didn't actually hate the movie, but I didn't like it either so much. But yeah, good choice though.
Number two. We're really getting up there.
My number 2 is Tekken.
Oh, Tekken.
I'm not really a Tekken fan.
No. Tekken Tag was pretty fun last
night. No,
I
like Tekken. The game.
Right.
Obviously not the movie. I like the games. It's just not a fighting series I really got into.
No.
Not saying it's a bad series or anything.
No, it's just one that you didn't get into.
So I watched this movie, not even knowing there was a Tekken movie, but I seeked it out once I heard about it, and I don't really have any emotional investment with any of the characters, so I don't know if they fucked up the characters or not. I don't know any of that. But the thing is, the movie started off pretty good. Like, legitimately pretty good. With a pretty good story. And I thought, well, why do people hate this movie? Because people were shitting all over it. And then as the movie went on, I started to see it. Like,
I started to figure it out.
Things that were cool at first, like, I thought we'd get to see a lot of cool fight scenes, because some of them were kind of neat, and you kind of saw different styles of fighting, and that seemed fun, but then it all just blended together, and it all became the same, and the dialogue was laughable, and just all this other shit, and there was maybe only... it was cool for the first, 20 minutes, and then after that, the movie kind of fell apart. Although there was a scene or two throughout the movie that was pretty good.
So if it would have stayed as, a short film...
yeah, if it was a short film, Tekken would have been kind of fun. I don't know, it pains me to, put a video game movie so high. Because video games are my first love.
Right.
So, whatever. Tekken fucking sucks.
They made quite a few fighting game movies this year, because they made a Street Fighter movie, Legend of Chun-Li.
Was that this year?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not.
I didn't get to see it yet.
They made King of Fighters, and then apparently they made Tekken.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't get a Mortal Kombat movie this year. I wouldn't mind seeing another Mortal Kombat movie.
Did you see the trailer for Mortal Kombat Rebirth?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You should seek it out. It's pretty decent.
Excellent.
There's just a little trailer, more of a short film. I don't know if they're going to make a full movie or not, but it's pretty good.
Nice.
So hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Well, look, they're reduxing the Spider-Man series. Why not redux the Mortal Kombat series?
Because Mortal Kombat, in terms of fighting series, is some of the cooler characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
You much rather watch a movie with those characters than even Street Fighter, and I think Street Fighter's a better game. Hands down, Street Fighter. Mortal Kombat, almost every fighting game is not as good as Street Fighter.
Right.
I went on record.
Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct.
See, but...
Full gore.
Full gore.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat would be fun to see another movie.
Alright, so moving on. My number 2, and I'm going to go back to my apparent vendetta against black people. Because my number 2 on the year was Lottery Ticket. Oh my fuck.
The blackest movie on the list.
Literally the blackest movie on the list. I don't think there's a white person in this movie. And that's not why I hate it.
Although it sounds like it.
Although it's starting to sound like it, isn't it? You know what? Just... first of all, let's talk about the premise. Talk about the premise to the movie. Premise to the movie is you got... I believe it's Brandon T. Jackson.
Who cares?
No, don't start sounding like me.
Wait, let me say one thing. I am so sick of these black people movies that just make black people look bad.
Yeah.
You
fair
know,
enough. Modern day blaxploitation.
Yeah, all black, but not in a good way.
No.
Blaxploitation movies are fun.
Right. Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
But I mean, just these movies are all these stereotypical black people that, I don't even know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying though?
I'm not gonna lie. We both feel awkward, and I'm an academic, and I shouldn't feel awkward talking about this stuff, but I do because that's society. Sort of feel awkward talking about this kind of stuff, that's the stereotypical black characters or whatever. But I mean, it's so painfully true that. I mean, you have to talk about it. It stares you right in the face.
Yeah, they throw these stereotypes at you, and I don't know.
But I mean, the whole idea is you have this family, and they stereotype black family that plays the lottery every week because he goes to the grocery store or goes to the corner store, and T-Pain is the guy that works at the